Hey everybody, it's your girl Porsha Coleman, and you are watching the Gunther Show. Holla.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Gunther Show. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and share this video. I would greatly appreciate it. On today's show, we are so honored to have somebody who everybody is familiar with. You've seen her from Netflix, you've seen her on BT Plus, and you've seen her in Hollywood. Without any further ado, the Gunther Show welcomes Miss Porsha Coleman. How you doing today?
Hey, now I'm good. How are you?
Man, I'm doing good. Before we get things started, my sincere condolences to the family of the legend, the king, the one, the only Malcolm Jamal Warner, who,
Yes.
unfortunately passed away today and definitely has been a heavy day for those of us in this entertainment space. So definitely want to send our sincere condolences to his family.
Yeah, absolutely. He was a nice guy. Crossed paths a few times, and my uncle played in a band, and he came and sat in and played bass several times. So, such a wonderful guy, talented actor, loved his work. So, yeah, rest in peace to his family.
Man, 100%. It just goes to show you at any given moment, something can happen.
Man.
And it kind of makes you want to live a little bit more too, though.
I know it's crazy because they were on vacation in Costa Rica. So I'm sure him and his wife and his daughter were just there for a good time. And one moment just took a turn. And now it's like, now we're saying rest in peace. So, like you said, life is precious. And I was just sharing this with somebody else, how that moment with somebody could be your last. Always cherish it and hold it near and dear to your heart.
Man, 100%. So, once again, our sincere condolences. I hate to start off the interview that way, but there's no way
Yeah, no,
that,
we pay
you know,
homage. We do. I mean,
we,
who didn't watch the Cosby Show and even all his new shows now? Like, I mean, he's been in our faces and in our TVs and in our
yeah.
hearts for so long. Like, he was a lot of people's first crushes too. Like, I was, young when the Cosby Show came out, but when I was old enough to start watching, I'm like, oh my God, Theo was so cute. Oh my God, like he was the heartthrob. You know what I'm saying? So it's really tough. So we honor him, and his work will forever live on. And just praying for his wife and his daughter.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and get right into it. You are fresh off of the Essence Festival. Take me back
Yeah.
through that because I couldn't make it out there this year due to some things that were kind of out of my control, but I
Okay.
definitely was trying to get there. But I've heard a lot of things. So, how was the Essence this year?
First of all, okay, Essence Festival was fine for, let's say, people that were involved in the Essence Festival. We had a panel, and then, we had concerts and stuff to go to. But overall, it was definitely, it was a lot. But at the same time, I was used to it. They held us down. We had our car services, our
Hmm.
panel started on time. I was good every night for the tickets to go to the show. So we were taken care of. But for the people that I know that were there, it was a lot. The concerts definitely were usually an hour late. And people
Mm.
keep getting on Lauren Hill. Let's just be real. We know Lauren got a problem being late. She late everywhere. Okay.
Lauren been doing that for years. It ain't nothing new.
Lauren been doing it for years. But in her defense, the show was already an hour behind. So if it's already an hour behind, because remember the artists that were earlier on in the day, their shows and their sets were going longer. It was taking them longer to set up some of the stages. So already by the time that it came time for her to do her thing, it was 2:30. So she, of course, has a late problem. So even with her 30-minute delay, by then it was a whole hour and a half. So by the time she ended, it was definitely 3:30. So I didn't stay. I'm gonna be honest. No, no, no. I was like, I'm good. Maxwell, I saw like middle of his set. I was like, okay, it's time to roll because it starts at 7 o'clock. So imagine being at a concert from 7 to 1:30 or 2.
Yeah, I can't
That's a
do it.
long concert. I love music. Don't get me wrong. I will be there for all the artists that are performing. But after a while, you're like, okay, now I'm tired. And you just get a little burnt out after a while. So unfairly, by the time she went on, it looked like crickets. A couple hundred people might have been there when that arena seats, I think 30 or 40,000. I don't even know the number, but it's something crazy. So unfairly, she had nobody that was there. But Essence Festival, I think, does need to work on their time. If anything, maybe just less artists. I would take one more day of concerts and just not have as many artists so they can have a chance to set up the stages and the artists get their time on the stage because they had to cut Maxwell short.
I
He
heard
didn't do
that.
Pretty Wings. He didn't get to do Pretty Wings. Even Master P, when I tell you they was like wrap it up, even though he started doing other things. Like he had Symphony come out and do a set. Then he had Carrie Hilson pop out and do stuff. So it's kind of like, wait, we ain't got time for features. We ain't got time for other people to come on stage when your show is already like, and his stuff was lit. Don't get me wrong. I made sure I had my army that weekend.
Make
I
them
was gonna
say,
be, oh man, I
you
was
got
so in
to.
there when Make 'em Say came on, bout it. But by the time one of my favorite joints, and literally this is me and my friend Claudia Jordan's favorite song. We always say, whoever gets married first, we're getting married to this song. See Murder. F them people. That's what we're gonna call it. You know, even though we're on YouTube, F them. That is our song. And when that song,
I've heard so many stories about that song.
bruh, that song is so iconic, and that's one of our favorite records. So the whole stadium did go up when it was time for Master P because he did say it's his last show. I don't believe it's his
We'll
last show.
see if it's last because people.
And
Thing is, when you great
no,
like that, it's hard to just walk away.
you
You can't
can't.
just.
You
Even
can.
Michael Jordan came back out of retirement more than once. All right.
I believe every basketball player, let's say if they are allowed or able bodied, would come back and at least give it another shot. A musician is always going to love music. And I just don't see Master P just calling it quits right now. I think in 3 or 4 years, he's going to be like, you know what? I feel bad about it again. Yeah, I feel bad about it. And we're going to see him pop up. That's what artistry is about. So it was a great concert. And then after that, my boys and boys to men came on stage and rocked the house. And it was awesome. And even Sean had said that when he came out, he's like, well, this is late. It was like 1:45. It was
Golly.
almost 2 a.m. And literally, we were walking out of there at 3 o'clock. And the funny thing about it is that my car to come pick me up to go leave because I had to leave that next day was at 3:15. So I already knew
Whoo.
bags were packed. I said, if this show gonna go the way I think it is, Boys to Men ain't gonna get done till at least 2, 3 in the morning. Sure enough, I left the concert at 3. It was at the hotel by 3:10. Went upstairs and packed. That bags was done. Had I
Yeah,
come
pretty
bags and I
much.
was in my car 5 minutes later. That's how late it went. It was lit though. It was fun.
Yeah, it seemed like it was. Like,
Yeah, it
man,
was fun.
I wish I could have been there, but like I said, there were
Yeah,
some things that occurred that were
it's
just
okay.
out of my control. However, 2026, we gonna see if your boy CG's in the house.
Come
I
on, next year it'll be back. And of course, they'll have things because a lot of people I think had gotten let go or had been laid off. So there definitely staff changes I think are going on. So I think within a year they're going to have a chance to really just tighten it up and get the show together. Because artist wise, it's amazing. I think they do well on that end, but just tightening it up so where people can go to the convention center and where they can come to the concerts and it's more seamless. That would be ideal. But yeah, it
well,
was, yeah.
I 100% believe it. However, like I said, 2026 Essence, mess with your boy one
Yeah.
time for the one time. Speaking about
Yeah.
messing with, you
Yeah.
got the new EP out and the singles.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Come on. I got my nasty girl.
Nasty girl.
I do. That's one of my lead singles, which I love. I'm so happy about Nasty Girl. Like, just because the title is, of course, it just sounds hot, but at the same time, lyrically, it's just about, empowerment. You know what I'm saying? I think every woman has a side that she's willing or wanting to bring out for the right guy or whatever situation that you're in. So I think it just kind of caters to that. But then there's other heartfelt songs on there too, where you're like, ooh, wow, I like this. This song's called Put It Down. And it's like what you would do when you're with your man and how you would put it down for him, when you've missed him. So there's a lot of different things that are on this EP. And it's only 4 songs right now because I have records that I'm sitting on and I'm like, let me just get a couple out at a time
Mhm.
because I have music that needs to be released and that people need to hear. So this is not it. I have more music coming out in the next couple months. And I'm just proud of it because music was my first love, always has been. And it's like, I just want to have a chance to let people hear and see the other side of Porsha outside of the acting.
From the music, though, you did get more opportunities, such as
Yeah.
acting. You currently are on Divorced Sisters on BT Plus.
Yeah.
Shout
Uh,
out to you and the cast who continues to do amazing. Yeah,
yes,
number one. That goes to show you how great all of
baby.
you are too.
It's been number one every week, which is the amazing part about it. I think we all were excited when we were doing it. And then when it came out, it was like, it's been hitting. It's been number one every single day since we came out. And that's 7 weeks now because we have episode 8 that drops this Thursday. And it's like, it hasn't let up. So I'm so excited because, again, we don't know if Naomi is going to end up singing at some point, but the fact that I have been able to use my music
Hmm.
along with my acting has been incredible because I was acting when I was about 7 or 8 and then I started singing when I was about 2 or 3. So to me, it's not like oh, I finally get to showcase that. I've been doing
Hmm.
that the whole time. It's just, it's getting, let's say, more visibility because of the fact when you're on a show and people are seeing what you're doing, then there's just more eyes and ears on it. So I'm happy about it, and I'm so glad to be on the number one show. Like, come on, it's killing. And I thank you guys that are tuning in, that are watching every weekend, who subscribed, because we could have done it without y'all.
Sometimes all you need is an opportunity, but you also just need somebody to give you that. You're working with a
Yes.
legend, Tyler Perry, who
Oh,
everybody is familiar with. He's done
yes.
a lot for the black community. Just share with me, what has it been like to work with Mr. Perry?
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. I met Tyler at the callback. So I sent in a self tape for the show, and I actually sent in a self tape for Tiffany. It wasn't even for the role of Naomi. Sent
Hmm.
it to Tiffany. I got a call back 2 days later. They said Tyler would be in the room. Went in the room, started the scene, and 30 seconds later, he's like, "Stop. That was very good, but I want you to read for the role of Naomi." And I was like, "Okay, sure." And he's like, "Well, just go out the room. They'll give you the scene, and then you'll come back in and just do it." And I'm like, all right. And this is right now when your acting skills kick in, because this is a cold read. I hadn't had a chance to look at the material. I hadn't memorized it, nothing, but I have to walk out and come back in as a whole different character and just deliver it like I'm her. And
Right.
sure enough, that's what I did. I looked at it for about 15 minutes. I said, okay, I got it. I have a good memory, but at the same time, I was like, I'm not gonna hold this paper. I'm not gonna refer to the lines. I'm gonna walk right in and just deliver this as Naomi. And sure enough, I did. He was glued, locked in, and was like, oh yeah, that was great. That was great. Please just wait outside. And the room went from 100 people at a callback to 25 to 10 to 5. And next thing you know, we're all like, wait a minute. You're here. You're here. Who are you reading for? You're reading for Tiffany. You're reading for Geneva. You're reading. So we got it. And Tyler was like, yeah, well, this is it. And hope you guys are excited. And I'll see you in a couple weeks when we're going to film. Be ready. Be prepared. It's going to move fast, but we're in it. And we're like, so I got the role on the spot for Naomi. And I was elated because I was like, oh my God, I just came in and knocked it out the park off of a cold read. And
Hmm.
that's when acting really kicks in, when your experience comes in handy, when you can walk in the room and just wow them as a whole different person, but where he saw it and was like, I see the vision. And now when I watch the show, I'm like, oh, I was definitely a Naomi. And she was definitely a Tiffany. And she's definitely a Geneva. She's definitely a Bridget. And she's definitely a Rashida. So it's awesome.
That goes to show you, though, a lot of times what happens in this industry, somebody can see something for you that you can't see right then and there. But
Oh.
if you just wait a little bit and you work with it, now you're like, oh, shoot, now I finally see it. And
Oh, without question. Without question. Because again, I didn't know who Naomi was. I saw it on a breakdown. I was like, oh, she sounds interesting. But if I'm not getting sent out for that role, I can't focus on that. So I didn't. So I saw the name, but I was like, oh, okay, cool. That may be already cast. And I remember walking into the room for the callback, and I never met Kadeem, but Kadeem was in the room behind the table where Tyler was, and so was Devon. I'd
hmm
already knew Devon from past friends and stuff like that, but they were in the room. So I'm like, okay, cool. They're just a part of the production. And then by the time it was over, when he sent everybody out and we all stood there and lined up, I was like, oh, you're Geneva. Oh, wait, Devon, you're playing. Yeah. And it just came together so brilliantly. So that's just a testament to when Tyler Perry sees something, he writes it on a paper and he envisions it before it even happens, because we all literally have our group chat and we're sitting here like, there's no way we could have all switched from roles and had it make sense. No way.
That
No.
goes to that to be truthful though, I feel like that goes to show you a lot of Tyler's genius.
Oh, yeah.
For a guy who has done so much in this industry and his mind is constantly, racing, he knows how to strategically place people in certain positions to see
Mm-hmm.
them thrive and to see them elevate. Another thing that he has been able to do is
Yeah.
get the
So,
right, you know what I'm saying, is get the right group of people together. You guys are
yeah.
number one. You got the number one show on BT Plus. The chemistry is there. The vibe is there. Like, just take me through that.
Everything. I think the chemistry and vibe is there because before we got started, we all had like 1 week to lock in. So even though none of us really had necessarily met outside of a couple, so actually, I take that back. I'd already worked with Latoya in a movie. We played best friends in a movie for BET Plus like 2 years prior.
Hmm.
Bridget, aka Jennifer Sears, had already met Latoya because they worked in a project prior. And then I had heard about Brianna through dance projects. I knew Devon already. I saw Kadeen from online. So we all, in a way, had already somehow met or worked with one another. So that entire week, all we did was literally get together, have a group chat, run lines with our readers, and just get to know each other. And that is what I think really shows on camera how so many nuances you're seeing we all was like, well, what am I going to do with you that'll make our relationship different? So even in the house with me and Tiffany, when she comes and has this conversation, she's in my house and we have a thing where we may do this or we may be like, girl, please, and do like a snap. Like we have different things that I think you guys see in the show that make our relationships organic, but that also set them apart from different girls on the show. So it's beautiful because it truly is our testament of how we were close and really locked in. And then that whole week, we had 5 days of filming. On the weekend, we were again back group chatting, holding each other down. I'm talking, we did long days. We did 8 days of actual filming, 16 episodes
Mm-hmm.
in 8 days. Just try to
Woo!
wrap your head around these are 1 hour shows. It's not 30 minutes, 1 hour shows, probably about at least 45 to 50 minutes of dialogue that you have to remember, which is each week, but your
Mm-hmm.
script is over 100 something pages long. So if we are shooting 8 days and we have 16 of those episodes to do on a given day, you might have 100 to 200 pages of scenes that you're doing. Pages. So we were going crazy and all we had was each other. So by the final day, when we were all there, like, this is it. Wow. We just let it all hang out. And just,
As you should.
I'll let you get a little insight. The very last day of filming was the day that we shot the banquet scene.
Ain't that
One day.
something?
Where if you've watched the show, you guys will see there's a scene where we are at a nice banquet event. A lot of stuff happens. That is the very last day.
Oh, it happens all right.
Oh, it happens. And let's just say if you have not seen Naomi, you better get into it because Naomi
Uh,
is hilarious.
is there anything, and I'm just gonna shoot my
Uh-huh.
shot right, here. I could be 100% wrong, but I'm
No.
gonna take a wild guess and say you and Naomi could be best friends in real life.
Why do people say that?
I'm just saying. I mean, hey, if I'm wrong, you have the
You
right to
know,
tell me I'm wrong.
okay, I just want to know. Okay, I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna put my interview hat on in front of you.
Ah, dang it, I knew it was coming.
Why? And tell me what you feel and see as to why you think Porsha and Naomi would be best friends. Because mind you, Naomi's a dominatrix. Naomi got her little sneaky link. Naomi got an ex-husband. Naomi got 37 million. And Naomi got a little alcohol problem. She got a lot going on. So tell me why you think that Porsha and Naomi might
Here we go.
be
Couple of
friends.
things.
Okay.
Number one, you and I are just alike because you never took a drink of anything, and I never took a drink of anything. So we here, okay? That's number one.
Here,
Number
we don't drink in real life. Okay.
There you go. Number
Okay.
two, here's how I think you guys totally would be besties in real life. Because she says whatever on her mind, and I know good and dang well you say whatever on your mind, all right? Number three, it's been a lot of scenes when y'all doing this, okay? You're doing this and the head is moving. I've been around black women my whole life. When y'all start doing this and start doing this, it's a wrap. Us as black men, we get intimidated, but we love when we see that, all right? So those are the three reasons why I strongly believe you and her would be best friends. If I'm wrong, you could correct me.
You okay? So listen. So everybody has to pull from real life to
As
break
you're
certain
doing it right
characters.
now with the hands, I rest my case.
That's why I did it. I had to bring it on back. And the funny thing about it is that I purposely was like, I wanted, like, of course, everybody has like, their nails and a certain glam that they bring to this show. Naomi, of course, is, I think, the over diva because mind you, she has a lot of money. She has listen, she gonna have her trench coats, even though they take everything from her. She is going to be the girl that gonna get up and get herself together. She gonna have a glam team come get herself together. Everything gonna be done head to toe at all times, even when she's falling apart. Because even when she came to that banquet, drunk as a skunk, Naomi still had her earrings, her hair, and everything was still done and ready, even though she was a hot mess.
Was
So
going through it.
I do believe that Naomi and Porsha would be friends because I had to channel a whole lot in a way to bring her to
Uh-huh.
life. But to me, I felt like it was low key easy because I'm like, I don't drink, but I know so many people that do.
Oh
And
yeah,
I
same
thought to
here.
myself, the best way to bring this character to life is to be not the angry drunk, but the sloppy fun girl. So walking in, automatic, and mind you, we've never practiced this scene because when you're at Tyler Perry Studio, they have readers, so you might get with a reader and just study your stuff, or we might get together. That was the final day, so we all was like, this last scene, we're gonna do what we feel, and it's gonna come together. And Tyler said, just trust me, we got it. So they did not know all the stuff that I was gonna do because I didn't even know the stuff I was gonna do. So even the
Hmm.
moment when I take the cup and like, come on, drink the coffee, and I literally stick my tongue in the coffee, and I'm like, just It's hilarious to me because I'm watching it as Porsha, like, this girl is crazy. And I would be her friend just because I'm like, this girl's a mess. So yes, I don't drink, but I've known many girls that I've carried and helped to the car or
I
down
have to.
hallways.
I have to. And the thing is, I love all of my friends.
Yes.
They
No
know
good.
it's no judgment this way. As long as
No,
I make
it's
sure y'all get home safe, that's
period.
all that
I had
matters. This show, even though it's called Divorce Sisters, it's not
yes.
necessarily the
Oh
typical divorce thing.
no,
It shows sisterhood. And
it
it
does.
shows something that I feel like our community needs to be reminded of is there
Correct.
is something special when you find your village.
Yes, absolutely. And the thing is that so many people were confused by the title. Don't let the title throw you off. I think it's brilliant that Tyler Perry named the show Divorce Sisters because we all know sisters. So many people thought this was a spinoff when it's literally just an extension of Tyler Perry's universe. It's not a spinoff. It has nothing to do with sisters. These women are married. These women are going through divorces. These women are divorced. These women are in situationships. It is all kind of complexities that are happening, and it's about how the girls stick by each other and also hold each other accountable when
Hmm.
it comes time. Because I love the fact that Naomi's gonna tell her like it is. You know, if you know that your girl literally is spending her money paying alimony to a guy who didn't have a job, who was broke, who took all her money, Naomi gonna be the girl to be like, I don't care if you date again, but don't date a dude like that. I don't care if you do this, but don't do that. She's the girl that is going to put things in the forefront. And for some of the friends, Naomi, how could you do that? But the other friends are like, that's who she is. And when you're watching it, you're sitting here saying, but we need a Naomi. We need a Geneva. We need a Tiffany. You need every dynamic that you have on this show because it helps bring the sister circle together and it helps make each other better. And I love how Tyler wrote it. And I love how we're bringing it to life by showing these are real girls. They're not perfect. They're not trying to be. And even the ones that are trying to be are secretly going through things, but we're going to try to pull it out of them so they can talk about it. And talking about what's going on is so powerful and can help you get through something.
We all need people in our life that can help us get
Yes.
through something,
Uh,
especially anybody that is pursuing any type of career in the entertainment industry.
oh, that
Whether
part.
it's whether it's in front of the camera, behind the camera, you've had great people with you.
Yeah.
What would be the best piece of advice that you would give to anybody that currently wants to follow in your footsteps?
Don't give up. You can't give up because if you want to be a writer and right now you're an actor, still act, still write on the side. If you want to be the owner at the McDonald's that you work in and right now you are on fries, guess what? Give it a little bit of time and you can end up being the manager. I think people give up too fast. And
Hmm.
I think that's what has set me apart. I've been acting since I was 7 and I never stopped. Not one day, not one moment did I say I don't want to be in it. And there's been times when there's no work. There's been times when there's no auditions. There's been times that we were on actor strikes. There was COVID. We went through so much as an entertainment conglomerate
Sure did.
that so many people did not stick with it. And I just sit here and say, wow, I remember COVID when a year of
Hmm.
silence. And I'm not used to that. As an actor, you're like used to going in the rooms, you're used to working, you're used to singing and doing shows. I'm used to hosting, and the world has had to sit still. And I think the difference is that a lot of people get discouraged when their blessing is right around the corner, or they want to change trajectories when they figure, oh, it hasn't happened yet. Why do we feel like we're in control of the timing when something happens? We're not.
Right.
We're not in control of God's timing. We're not in control of anything when it comes to seeing what we want. We have to identify what we want, but it may not happen in the time that we wanted in. So many auditions that I had that I thought I should have got, I didn't book. But then weeks later, I got a job where I was like, oh my God, if I would have booked that, I would have been free for this.
Hmm.
So you have to give it time to understand that time is okay. I'm patiently impatient. I want things now. And that's another Naomi trait. When she wants him to get out, get out. But I also know that patience is a virtue in a lot of ways because the timing doesn't always work when you feel it should, but it'll always work out in the long run.
I've heard that from a lot of folks, especially my wife, because my wife is way more patient than I am. You,
Really? So it's the reverse with you guys. She's the patient one.
yeah, she's the patient one. I have zero. I have zero of it. I'll tell her myself. That's just how I am.
And again, it could be an astrological thing. What sign are you? Are you an Aries?
Man, how'd you get that? You want to know something crazy? I'm gonna put this little fact. You
Wow.
had mentioned Jennifer. Me and Jennifer have the exact same birthday, March 21st.
Crazy. Here's a funny thing. I have no idea. I've always been able to do this. Astrologically, I am really good. I can talk to people for a couple minutes and I can guess their birthday down to the day within a day or two. I talked to you for how long? 20 minutes and I guessed your sign, by the way.
You know
Okay?
what? I mean, hey, that goes to show the vibe and the energy, though. We just
Yes.
vibe and we just chopping it up, and that is,
Energy is very powerful. And also just understanding people have certain traits and people love to say, oh, astrology is not true. And I'm like, okay, you can believe it or not. That's fine. There are planets, there are whatever you want to believe or not. At the end of the day, people are a lot like their sun signs, but they're also like their rising sign. So your sun sign is just how you are in a way and who the true root of you, but your rising sign is how you present and how you project. So everybody thinks I'm a Leo because my rising sign is Leo. So they get the fire, they get that Naomi, they get the Naomi energy. And
I
then
would
when you
hate to
get
get
to
on Naomi's
Naomi,
bad side. That's for sure.
we see what happens when you get on her bad side. You might get
Hmm.
burnt. You might get burnt and laid up in a hospital on your back. You know what I'm saying? But the root of me is a Cancer, and that's also like the home life, the family life, and when you get to know me. So there's different signs when you get to know somebody. But hilarious that I guessed your birthday right to a T after you said, "Oh, I'm patiently impatient." I'm like, "Oh, he's an Aries."
Man, that is, I'm gonna leave that conversation there. There's so much more I could dive into, but I ain't got
Exactly. I
time for
love
it. We
it.
got to keep it pushing.
I love it. I love it. Part two. We'll do that part two.
Yeah, I think a follow up should happen. I'm sure the fans would love it.
Oh,
Now
good. They love it.
we
I love astrology. I do.
now we understand that you can't give us everything, but
Okay.
we're at the halfway point of the season
Yeah.
and things are getting crazier. What can the fans expect as the season continues?
As the season continues, we do have one more episode that airs this Thursday. Thank you for keeping us number one because we've been killing it every week. You guys are going to be very glued and locked into how this conversation wraps up because if you watch the last episode, Naomi went boop, 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 and aired on the TV screen some real tea. Myron is on the phone. We don't know who he's talking to, but we insinuate that he is talking about the pastor. So obviously, when we come back for episode 8, you're going to be like, so what happens? Because Myron's outside, you got Preacher outside. What is up? So you guys are going to love to see what happens episode 8. And again, I have not seen this. We have not watched anything. So every week when we are sitting here watching, I'm with popcorn too, like, oh my God, what? What? No way. We don't know what happens because we have not seen the shows. We did them, we left, they edited, and everything is done. And here we are just watching it as fans like you guys. So even though we know the script, we were not there for everything that each other shot. So we're watching it fresh. So it's going to leave you on a cliffhanger. Every episode is doing that to people. They are like, why is Tyler doing this to us? Why are y'all keeping us in this like locked position of uncertainty? And I love that because I can't imagine how many more fans are going to watch it during the break to get caught up. And then by the time we are back from that break, which we don't even know how long it's going to be, everybody's going to be dying to see how these next 8 episodes play out. And hopefully by then we are getting word on season 2, hopefully.
Well, just my gut feeling, it's hard for me to see a scenario where y'all don't get picked up for season two.
It's
It's
hard to gut punch and think we wouldn't either, but I
Yeah,
like
I
to
mean,
get
look, I
things.
I
Yeah.
understand, business happens and there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes, but
Yes.
it's just hard for me to believe that season two won't get picked up. I just believe that it will. And when
I
it
do.
does, Mr. Perry, come do the Chris Gunther show. I just want to put that
Come
out
on,
there. One
man.
time for the one
I
time.
believe it will as well. But like I said, nothing is real until you're there on set filming and when it has a release date and when it's on. Because again, as an actor, there have been times where you've been in a project, your scene is cut out, the project got canceled. Everything can happen in this business. So I always have the mindset of I'm excited when everything is happening. I live in the
Hmm.
moment because we don't know what's going to shift with or in that moment. So enjoy the time now. I'm loving the fact that we're number one and people are all locked in. And just like I said, hopefully by the time we get into the last episode, we're already talking about, hey guys, season 2 on the way. Get ready, stay tuned because Divorce Sisters will be back at this date. That's what I'm going to be like, oh my God. So I can't wait. Yeah. And I love that you watch. That's so dope. Like you've people have been watching it and really sticking with it. So that's amazing.
And I appreciate it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, before we
Yeah.
get out of here, if anybody wanted to connect with you and learn more about you, how can they do that?
Come on at Porsha Coleman, Porschacoleman. That's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, MySpace. I don't know my login.
I
If you
haven't heard
try to,
MySpace in so long.
if you try to hit me up over there, probably ain't gonna get it.
I'm gonna leave that conversation there.
You know what I'm saying? So just stick to the regular regulars. I'll answer on Threads, any of those sites, LinkedIn. I run all my pages, so I will definitely get a chance to see it. But thank you guys so much. Shout out to you, Chris, because I also was seeing some of your episodes and love your show. Keep rocking. And like I said, hopefully we will come back on. We'll do a part two, talk a little astrology, and talk about season two.
Hey, you have my word. When you want to come
Thank
back
you.
on, let's go ahead and set it up.
I love it. Definitely stream the EP right now, so titled Porsha. It's just a mini EP, more music on the way. I got my lead single, Nasty Girl. Stream it, listen to it, get into it because it's a vibe. And I'm so glad that, people are really just getting to know who Porsha is. You know what I'm saying? This show is obviously a big launch pad, and I've been doing this for so long. So they've seen me on the Parkers, they've seen me on Dad Stop Embarrassing Me on Netflix for Jamie Foxx. They see me all bald and out as a comedian. They see me as a dancer. They see me in Silicon Valley, a lot of shows. But I love now that the present project is Divorce Sisters. And Tyler Perry, thank you for the opportunity. And thank you for giving us this platform because I'm not going to take it for granted. And we are going to keep this number one thing going, number one thing for a while.
Yeah, let's keep running it up. Ladies and
Run it
gentlemen,
up.
Porsha Coleman on the Chris Gunther Show. Be sure that you check her out on Divorce Sisters on BET Plus. Peace and love. I'll catch y'all next time.